How y'all doing?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to
I'm Steak.
And I'm Cupcakes.
Garland.
Easy. Hey, you said it.
Oh, yeah?
Yay.
Wasn't expecting that?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
So y'all, update. Now I have on my glasses today because I didn't bring my contacts with me. And when I take off my glasses, I can't see. I can see near, but I can't see far. I am.
How many I got?
You got two. I am farsighted.
You can't see close up.
You can't see close up. Isn't that weird? If you're farsighted, you see near. If you're nearsighted, you see far. Like they mixed it up. Some people didn't know what they were doing.
I'm sure there was a reason for that.
Anyway.
So.
Update on this fella.
On me.
This handsome stud of a steak.
Okay. Don't milk it.
Okay, so what's the update, baby?
My wound is healed.
The wound's healed.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, it is healed in the name of Jesus.
I would
But
say
it is closed on the outside. Now, okay, so his wound nurse came today. And so she was like, "Oh, your wound's closed." And we're like, "What?" And so I looked at it. I was like, "Baby, your wound's closed." And she was like, "Yeah, it feels a little soft where it closed up." And so that's where the incision tore. So it's been about a whole month, I guess. Or
since
probably
when?
Since you tore the incision.
Oh,
Probably a little bit more than a month.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably been a little bit more than a month. And so it finally closed up. Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord.
Uh-huh. Well, now we're just waiting for some doctor's visits. Maybe I'll be good to go. We'll see. That might be a video for next week.
Oh, doctor's appointment because you have to go next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
What day?
Why you put my business out there?
I'm so sorry. Anyway, okay, God doesn't want me to tell you when he has to go to the doctor, so he has to go next week. Whatever.
Doctor.
Well, the week that we post this video, he'll have to go to the doctor. Whatever.
Just kidding. Tuesday. So today was my last round of antibiotics.
Yeah, no more antibiotics. No.
No more. You get to get this thing taken out.
His PICC line.
Yeah.
And y'all can't see it, but it's two
Yeah.
ports.
Probably can't.
Sorry.
Kind of tender.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have to remember that it's very tender right there. So that is called, what is that called, baby?
Midline.
A midline.
PICC line?
No, midline goes in your chest, and a PICC line goes in your arm.
That's right.
That's the difference between a midline and a PICC line. So, Garland's wound has officially closed on the outside.
On the outside.
We don't know the depth of it from the inside. So when we last measured it, it was 3 inches at, or
Inches.
oh,
An inch is one of those.
3. Oh gosh, what did she say?
Centimeters.
3 centimeters, y'all. I don't know my U.S. sizes. Oh yeah, you cake baker person, you don't know your U.S. measurements.
Well,
3 centimeters.
Goodness, she's not the one measuring things. Be 5 foot long.
Oh, be quiet. It was 3 centimeters at. Oh gosh, now I have to look at our notes.
Balls.
So okay, so I sent Carlin the picture of. We're not doing this. I'm taking that out. No, we're not even.
We were.
The measurements of your wound.
Oh. Edit all this out.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it was 3 centimeters at 2 o'clock and 2 centimeters at
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. So 3 and 10, 3 and 2 centimeters. 3 centimeters and 2 centimeters. So, y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Y'all, just seeing it. When Garland told me that he ripped the incision.
I didn't the incision.
Yeah, well, yeah, you did because you turned.
Yeah, obviously.
Because you turned and then you
It's
saw fresh blood on the hospital bed.
Yes, but due to not having the right equipment and not being told the right things to do.
They didn't tell him, they didn't give him the right bed at the hospital that he was at, which was absolutely ridiculous. Nor did they tell him, give him any instruction. So, it was, yeah, they needed to step it up. But anyway.
The wound care team was good there.
Oh yeah, the wound care team was good. I liked them.
Just some things didn't get worked out right.
Now that happens in any hospital. Y'all, if you're in a hospital and something's not right, speak up. Because literally if something goes wrong, they don't care. Because they're going to get paid anyway. Speak up about anything that goes wrong in the hospital. If you're in the hospital and something's not right, you need to speak up. Please, speak up. So, anyway. That's my rant.
You ranting?
Yes, because I've heard several stories about people going to hospitals. They know things are wrong, and then the staff is just... I was not on his phone now. And the staff is just ignorant to their symptoms that something could be wrong. And then they end up dying. Because the staff didn't take the proper precautions and all that kind of stuff. They say, oh yeah, wait. And then you have to wait 2-4 hours, whatever, how long it can be until someone sees you. And so, y'all, if you go into a hospital, not, let's say you're not in the hospital, but you go into the hospital because you know something's not right, demand to see a doctor. Because it's your right as a patient. I've volunteered in the hospital over 10 years. So it's your right to speak up when something is not right. In the hospital, at the doctor's office, speak up about your situation. Do not be afraid to really speak up. Say something is not right. I need to speak to a doctor. I need to speak to anyone who can help me with this situation. Because recently there was a woman, I don't know the whole story, but recently there was a woman, she went into the hospital and they told her to wait. She told them that something was wrong, but they told her that she had to wait. And I think she ended up waiting about 4.5 hours to finally see a doctor. And when they got her into the room, she died.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they said that she had a blood clot or something. And then it finally just went to her brain and killed her.
Oh.
So, yeah. And that's something that probably could have been caught a long time ago if she had gotten in there. And that's really sad. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Really sad for the families and all that kind of stuff. So speak up if you're in the hospital or if you're going into the hospital. Speak up about your situation. Y'all, I'm just so excited. We're past whatever part you want to call this.
Z.
Part Z. We're all through all 26 letters.
Part Z.
Oh, God. I wanted to talk about something as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when Garland and I first got together, back together. We'll actually do that video soon, the dream that brought us back together. But when Garland and I got back together, there was a lot of talk about why would I be with a person who has a disability, who is paralyzed.
Where'd you hear that?
A lot of people who are close to me have asked me that.
Well, they probably wouldn't. I mean, maybe if they're really close to you, they really want to know, you know. What do you see in this person?
Well, but I can read their facial expressions. Like, that's not exactly what they were trying to say.
Oh. Well, then that's different.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say that I love Garland for Garland.
Well, thank you. I love you for you.
Garland is an amazing person inside and out. He loves God. He is funny, handsome, cute, like whole package for me, okay?
Oh, stop it. You stop it. You're making me blush.
Like, there's not even a word when I think of Garland, like, oh my gosh, if he sends me a selfie, I have no words to describe that selfie. Like, oh my gosh, he's so handsome. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, let me take a selfie. Oh my gosh. Let me take a selfie. Okay, we'll edit that out.
No. Oh gosh. So, did I see Garland's disability when we met? I don't think it was. All I thought was like, here's this man. Y'all saw the glare of the windows getting in my glasses. But if I take them off, I can't see the camera.
Little dilemma you got there.
I know, right? I've grown up at a hospital called Tier my whole life. It's a rehab hospital. And I'm usually on the spinal cord floor. And that's the floor that Garland and I met on. And so when Garland and I met, I remember I just saw Garland for Garland. I didn't see him, oh look, there's this dude in a wheelchair, or here's this dude with a disability. I didn't think of it that way. I just said, oh, here's this cute man, I kind of want to take a second look at it. I'm like, hey.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Oh, gosh. But I never said, oh, let me consider this because he's in a wheelchair or anything like that. I just, like you said, you fall in love head first.
I think it's called head over heels.
Head over. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Of course, I don't know what the saying is. Okay.
You keep working on the cupcakes, and I'll keep working on the lines people say.
What's going on here? Oh gosh. Anyway, okay. Anyway, back to the subject.
We're back. We have no commercial breaks here.
Shut up. So, like, don't
Truck month, back in Houston.
Be quiet.
Back into these commercial breaks.
Someone get me some masking tape. Anyway, y'all. So, I just saw Garland for Garland. I didn't see Garland, this dude in a wheelchair. I didn't see him, this dude with spinal cord injury. I mean, I knew that because that's why he's on the spinal cord injury floor. But...
Avi.
Did you just say Avi?
Avi.
Oh my gosh. You did not just say that.
Avi avocados.
And so I didn't see his wheelchair. I just saw him. And you're talking about, what do you mean it's obviously there? Yeah, it's obviously there, but you're... Let me finish. But you have to see the person over the disability. Because the disability does not define a person. There's countless stories of people overcoming. And people with disabilities just want to feel normal like everybody else. I truly believe, since I've been around people with disabilities my whole life, and I'm a head injury survivor. I had a head injury when I was in a car accident with my dad when I was 3 or 4, one of those numbers.
Ages was good.
Ages.
Your first instinct was great, baby. Go with it.
Anyway. And so, like, yeah, there's obstacles that I have to overcome every day. But no one would know about it until I said something. But people who are, let's just say, a paraplegic or an amputee, those are disabilities that you can see.
Oh, but I feel like everybody has their own things going on, whether it be physically seeing or mentally going on or a pain.
Yeah.
I think everybody has something going on.
No, and I believe that too. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that you have to see the person for who they are and not their disability. Because they don't want to feel treated different from everybody else. They just want to be treated normal. And I think that's a big thing if you want to enter a relationship with someone who, let's say Garland and I. Garland is paralyzed and I'm an able body. There are going to be difficulties that arise. Like this wound situation that we've been going through for over a year.
Over a year.
So, is everyone, I guess, mentally prepared to go into a relationship with someone who may have a challenge? Truth be told, no. I think.
I don't think it's for everybody.
No, and I don't think it's for everybody either. Can you handle when that person gets sick? Or, like this wound situation that we've been going through, it's been an emotional roller coaster for me. There have been times when I've asked the people of my church to, hey, can you just pray for me? Because this is what's going on. Garland is sick. Like when Garland couldn't eat. He couldn't eat for, I guess, about a month. A little over a month, I believe, when this first started.
I know it was eating. It just wasn't enough.
You weren't keeping it down.
Keeping it down, yeah.
So, Garland lost like 50 pounds. And I think that was just so... It was the most... What am I trying to say? It was the most struggling for me. Most challenging time throughout this whole process. Because here I'm thinking Garland's not getting the nutrition he needs. Garland can't do this, Garland can't do that. He couldn't even keep liquids down. He could keep water down. But if they were to give him like some type of Ensure or something like that, it wouldn't stay in his stomach. And so like here he is losing all this weight, and I'm just...
I think some of that had to do with mixing some medicines too. Some of the medicines weren't...
That they were giving you?
Yeah, weren't mixing together, and then I would be throwing up.
Still.
There's different factors.
It was so challenging for me. Mentally challenging, spiritually challenging. There was times like I said, Lord, we need you to come through right now because Garland cannot eat.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can't eat, you can't get the nutrients you need. If food won't stay down, you can't get the nutrients that you need. And so he lost like 50 pounds. Because Garland was bigger than that, not bigger than he is now. Actually, he's filled out where he lost all his weight at.
I'm a prized hog, people. Filled me out like a pig. They could slaughter me and eat me, huh? You can edit this out. That's fine.
I'm not going to edit it out. And so, can you handle that? And so, there were times when I said, Lord, I need you to intervene because I can't handle this right now. When you see the person you love, and they're crying, and there are times when Garland was homesick, and I said, well, baby, you're just going to have to wait it out. And he's just like, I want to go home. It was heartbreaking, to say the least, because your heart breaks with them, and there's not one thing that you can do about it. Not one. And so, is everyone fit for an interabled relationship? I don't think so. How did I know that I was? I didn't.
No,
I think when you start to grow with someone and love them for them, you do things out of love. So I took care of Garland out of love. I was there in the hospital, which is on the opposite side of Houston. Like, not this side of town, because we did that video, but it's like super far.
Yeah, it was far.
And like on the bus, I wouldn't even try to do that video, y'all, because no. My phone would probably be dead by the time I got to that side of town.
How long will it drive, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's like over 2 hours on the bus to that side of town. Then I had to catch an Uber to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you want to be in an interable relationship, let's just say you say something like, oh, that person is, let's just say they have a missing leg. Yeah, there are challenges that come with those who have an amputated body part. Then let's just say I actually know someone who has a missing leg, so they're really close to me. So that's why I'm giving this example.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say you work at a hospital.
Well, no.
I'm sure you know plenty of people with missing limbs. So this one's close to you.
Yes, this one's close to me. There are challenges that come with anyone who may have a physical disability, a mental disability. I mean, there are different types of disabilities, and I'm going to read some off to y'all from Garland's phone. There are lots of different disabilities, lots of different challenges that come with someone who has a disability, like there's visual disabilities, hearing disabilities, learning disabilities, autism, physical, emotional, and cognitive. And so you have to be prepared for those. I didn't really have to figure out what being paralyzed was, because I've been around people who have been in accidents, lost the ability to walk my whole life. But you have to, I can't stress this enough, that you have to see the person before you see the disability. If you love someone with a disability, then let that love
shine. Let it shine.
Well,
shine, shine, shine. Let it shine. Whoa, yeah.
Anyway.
On bricks.
I think when you're in an interabled relationship, you have to let that love shine over their disability.
Oh, we're going with shine?
I guess so. And it will grow over time, but you can't force it. And if you think it's going to be too much for you, then get out. And that sounds kind of harsh, but
run.
It will be quiet.
Run, Forrest, run.
I think you have to let that love shine more than the disability. Yes, you're going to have to be there, take care of them. You have to be there emotionally as well as they're there. And like sometimes that's harder to be there emotionally than it is to be there, because sometimes you need a friend, not your lover. And
yep.
Sometimes you have to listen like a friend, not like the lover. And that's what a relationship is. You're friends first before you become lovers. And I think actually Garner and I were lovers before we were friends, but it all worked out in the end.
That did.
I got him. Reeled him in. No, just kidding.
Bagged and tagged me like a fish. First I'm a piece of meat. Now I'm a fish. Oh, I guess meat is fish or meat. Fish are food too.
Fish are friends, not food. So anyway.
Oh, that's how it goes. Fish are. Okay, you get the movie references. I get the life references. And here we are. Yin to my yang.
So, anyway. Like I was saying, you have to be there emotionally. You have to be that person when, hey, I need to call you because I need you to pray for something with me about whatever I'm going through. Because the more you grow, you're going through that with them too. Like, Garland has never, ever been the person going through his wound situation alone. Now, he's in it, but it's me and him going through it. So I hope that made sense. It's...
Oh, I have you and a whole support system of people.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about lovers in general. Just...
Oh. Friends and lovers.
Friends and the friend. You have to be the friend and the lover, not just your support system. And I'm so glad Garland has a support system. And he has a support system of people he's only met once as well. They go to my church. But there's a whole nother world to being the friend versus the lover, or the lover versus the friend. Sometimes there are times when Garland and I would just cry. This was before the surgery happened. We would just cry, and we would just hold each other and just cry because it was just overbearing. And then Garland was probably crying because he's tired of waiting, and I'm crying because I'm overwhelmed with us waiting in the situation. And so you have to go through it together, and can never think that person's going to go through it alone, because you have to be the main support system. And you have to be that person at all times. And it can be kind of stressful. But very rewarding. Like, the wounds closed, y'all. The wounds closed, y'all. The wounds closed, y'all. The wounds closed, y'all.
The wound is closed.
Now, like I said, it is probably still slightly tunneled, but as time progresses, it will.
Yep.
Anyway.
And I'm off the antibiotics.
Off the antibiotics. Yes.
Good stuff.
So.
It's coming out.
Oh yeah. So, question is everybody able to be in an inter-able relationship? And my answer is no. Is it all right if you're not? That's completely fine. You have different stresses that you can handle versus other people. You may not be strong in some areas that person may need you to be strong in, and that's okay. But if you're not okay, say something early. Do not let it carry on and your feelings get in the way, because it's going to hurt even more in the end. So, y'all. Oh, and like I said, I didn't know that I was able to go through it, but I'm so thankful to God that He gave me the strength to go through it with Garland. Oh, sorry. Ah, Jinx! We said at the same time.
Oh. I don't know what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Scared me. Jinx, what? Achoo. Did you sneeze too?
No.
Oh. No, not everybody is able to do that. But, I mean, like we say, I wasn't looking for you and you weren't looking for me. I think that God just kind of places us where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And There's no other way we would have ever met, baby.
I don't think so either. And Girl and I have definitely thought like we could have met at the rodeo. But there are over 1 million people that go to that rodeo in 3 weeks. So the chances of us even running into each other are 1 in 1 million. We could have met at the store, but we live on 2 opposite sides of Houston, so his stores aren't my stores.
Nope.
And then, like, there really would be no other possible way that Garland and I would have met, except for at Tier. And I'm grateful for him. He has taught me so much about life. He has grown so much through this experience, whether he knows it or not. And that just delights my heart so much, y'all. And, oh my gosh, I'm getting overwhelmed.
So?
And there's a lot of things that we're talking about that we'll hopefully share with y'all in the future that we're planning. That probably would not have come to pass if we did not go through this. And so, I love Garland. I love him as a person. I didn't know that I was able to be it's sounding twisted now.
Sounds twisted.
I didn't know that I personally had the strength to go through I didn't personally know that I had the strength to go through what Garland and I have gone through this past year. Because it's probably been the worst year that we've had. But I thank God that we've gone through it. There have been a lot of tears, a lot of just overwhelmness, probably anxiety.
Shaking.
A lot of shaking. Garland's legs are just like going crazy right now as well. So I think we may need to reposition. Let him reposition. And so but you'll never know that you have the strength unless you go through it. But if you know that you don't have it in the beginning, please say something. Because all you're going to do is hurt someone in the end. So, y'all, we're going to go so we can get Garland's legs situated. So, I pray that this has inspired someone to not just pursue a relationship, but maybe even think about maybe what this other person may be going through. It's going to be a learning experience. Probably so much learning before we even consider being married. But like I said, wouldn't have the strength that I had to go through without the grace of God. And without Garland praying for me, my church behind me praying for me, and Garland both. And like I said, you have to love the person over the disability. See the person, not the disability. And I'll go make friends with someone who has a disability. Go invite them out to hang out with you, go bowl or something like that, to do activities that they can do so they don't feel left out. And this has been really on my heart to do this video, and so that's why I'm just kind of overwhelmed with emotions right now. But be a friend. If you're not going to be a lover, be a friend to someone with a disability. Because they're humans too. And that's all I got to say about that.
Back to you.
As always, y'all, this is...
Steak.
And I'm Cupcakes. We'll see y'all next week.
Hasta la
Hasta la